What's up, beautiful people? Today, I am back again to go over my top 10 things that you need to know about the PUBG Vikendi patch. That's for the Xbox and PlayStation 4 with the new snow map that they release. If you missed it, on Friday, I went over all of the whole patch notes review. It's about 20 or 25 minutes long. This video will be much shorter, and it's going to specifically go over the things that I thought you need to know or you might have missed out of that patch notes review. So let's jump right in. All right, so number one, most important thing you want to take a look at on this update is the mode for frame rate versus resolution. So what this is going to do for you is prioritize frame rate to be a more consistent number versus your resolution having higher graphical settings. So the resolution priority lets your console display up to 4K and enables VSync if you have a VSync monitor, but you're not going to hold anywhere near a standard 30 frames per second. In fact, when you get into heavy gunfights or smoke grenades or Molotovs, you're going to see your frames drop significantly lower. If you go to frame rate priority, however, you are going to sacrifice some resolution, but I can promise you it's not going to be very noticeable. In fact, I'll go ahead and cycle a couple of versions back and forth right in front of you with frame rate mode versus resolution mode, and I guarantee you, you won't be able to tell a discernible difference, even if you're playing on a 4K monitor like myself. Now, having said that, the frame rate priority does have a more consistent frame rate during gunfights, when you're throwing smoke grenades and looting, and even during Molotovs. I have seen a couple of instances where during hot drops, even under frame rate priority mode, you do get some frame rate drops when you're dropping into a compound that has a lot of buildings and the game's trying to render everything at once. So that's the one thing I will say about the frame rate. But other than that, I highly recommend you keeping frame rate priority active, unless you just can't stand not to play in 4K. Then by all means, do resolution. Okay, number two, the field of view slider. This is really important. So this is the first time we've ever had this on PUBG console. Almost every PC game that I can think of as far as shooter wise has had a field of view option. And what this means is your degree of viewing angles when you're in your first person mode. So the higher the number, the wider your peripheral view will be. And I'll go ahead and display a couple of those back to back here for you on screen. The default is going to be set to 90 if you don't change anything. You can reduce it down to 80, which is going to bring your character closer to the tip of your gun, which will enlarge the things in your screen, but it's going to narrow your field of view down so you see less things to your left and right, which means for you, when you're battling, you're going to have to turn left and right more to find your target. A higher field of view is going to make the targets a little bit smaller on your screen, so keep this in mind if you have a very small monitor. This might not be something you want to do. I have a 28-inch and it seems to work okay for me. Okay, so another feature you're going to want to turn on is the auto reloading. Now, auto reloading is going to be defaulted off. It's under settings, under gameplay, all at the bottom, and you want to turn that on. And here's why. If you have that on, as soon as you pick up a weapon and you pick up the ammo for that weapon, all you have to do is tap the right trigger one time to start the reloading sequence and it'll reload the gun. Currently, the way it's defaulted is if you have it on off, you pick up your ammo, you pick up your gun, you're frantically getting ready for a gunfight. If you hot drop, you have to hold the X button for a good about second, maybe second and a half for the whole reload sequence to complete, and it does a little circle loop on your screen, and then it starts the reload. Well, with auto reloading on, all you have to do is tap the right trigger one time, and it'll begin your reloading immediately. Another cool feature with this auto reloading is as soon as you shoot the last round in your magazine, the next tap of the right trigger will begin the reloading sequence, same as if you just hold the right trigger down. So if you have a fully automatic weapon or a shell gun and you go boom, boom, as soon as you press the right trigger again, it's going to reload. Now see if I can find some ammo. Here we go. Okay. So let's reload this guy. So I'm going to keep holding the trigger, and as long as I hold the trigger, it automatically reloads the weapon for me. Now, where it doesn't do that are on single fire guns like this shotgun. So I'll go one shot, two shot. It's going to sit at 0 until I tap the right trigger, but I no longer have to hold the X button. All you have to do is tap the right trigger, and boom, he's going to throw 2 shells back in that shotgun for you. Okay, next up, we're going to look at the snow footsteps. So this is a really cool feature that they just implemented where you're running in the snow and boom, you have footsteps, right? So that means you and the enemies are also leaving behind a trail of where they've been and possibly where they have gone. So, oh, I got someone right next to me and I have no gun. Oh my goodness, what the heck is this guy doing? That's so proper. That's so proper. You should have been looking at my footsteps, man. Oh, right in the, I don't know what muscle is that. Whatever, got him, huh? Right in the lats. Okay. Where the heck were we? Okay, so let's see. Oh yeah, footsteps. So we're gonna see how long do the footsteps stay until they disappear. So we're gonna test that out here. 10 minutes. Okay, boom. 10 minutes is the trigger. There you go. Some cutting edge research we just did there. You're welcome. 10 minutes of my time is wasted. Okay, another thing is level 3 helmets and level 3 vests are both real world spawns now. So level 3 vests have always been, they've just been pretty rare. Now they actually are more common than before. And level 3 helmets now spawn in the real world. So what that means for you is loot drops are not a must. You can actually just find these literally anywhere in the map. I don't agree with this change, but it is a thing. You should be aware of it. All right, so one of the things we need to talk about is the footstep glitches. So here I'm in the villa, one of the main spawns in the villa, and the entire building has footstep glitches. So I'm sprinting around, you can't hear any footsteps. So I'm gonna turn this up for you, make sure you can hear it. So I'm full sprinting, can't hear any footsteps. Go over carpet and you can hear footsteps. So that bug is not only in this building, it is in other buildings as well. And you'll notice that some of the buildings will make exterior outside foot noises inside the building. So you'll think you hear an enemy outside the building when in fact they're in your building. So little steps, little staircases have footsteps. None of this does, carpet does. Now on top of the audio footstep issues, the actual map does have some audio bugs just with gunshots. And in some cases, you'll hear gunshots happening that sound like they're really close to you, maybe 20, 30 meters ahead of you, when in fact they're about 80 to 120 meters ahead of you. So do be careful with that. When you hear someone, don't immediately look for the closest tree. Kind of give your surroundings a good glance because it could be further out than you initially thought. Hopefully they'll get that fixed soon though. Okay, next up, we're going to talk about forward running sensitivity. Now this has been something that's been in the live server for, I don't know, a few weeks now. But it's something that I don't think a lot of people really understand. So they've updated this change in the settings. If you go to your settings and you go to, is it gameplay? Go down, no, I'm sorry, it's controls, not gameplay. Go down to controls and go down to forward running sensitivity. So it says adjust the sensitivity of the forward running left stick. The higher the sensitivity values, the easier to run in the forward direction. So what this means is if you have trouble running in compounds and you kind of get stuck in between doorways, so you're trying to sprint and your character kind of gets stuck because he starts going left and right at the edge there, your forward running sensitivity number is too low. You need to increase that. The higher the number, the less sensitive to left and right inputs the control is going to be. So I found the sweet spot for me to be around 25. If you go much higher than that, you can find that you really have to move the left stick far left and far right to get the character to rotate while you're moving forward. But I would highly recommend trying it out, at least at my setting at 25 and seeing what feels right for you. But I find that to be very fluid running in and out of doors and through buildings. I never really get caught on staircases anymore or doors anymore. So definitely give that a check out. Okay, so last up is a glitch with a grenade. Sometimes when you throw a frag grenade or a Molotov grenade, it doesn't actually leave your hand. The Molotovs will throw and catch your body on fire. You have to go to your inventory, go to the grenade and drop it. Frag grenades are the same thing. You throw it, won't actually leave your hand. They'll stay in your backpack primed and will explode. The only advice I can give you is don't pick up frag grenades right now until that's fixed.
Epic fail.